Welcome to Without a Candle. We are your hosts,
Hey guys, I'm Carla.
and I'm Carly. Let's just jump on in, shall we?
Today we are sitting with Kenni, and so what we typically do is we just share basically that, and then we let you share a little bit about who you are and what you do and like that kind of stuff, and then we'll just start having conversations and bullshitting.
Yeah.
But how would you want people watching? How do you want them to know you? Because you have some businesses too, and you're a teacher, right? So what is a little bit about that?
My name is Kenni. I come from a long line of strong women.
Okay.
So, teaching, my mother was a teacher, I'm a teacher. My grandmother was not officially a teacher, but she was a nurturer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've just come from a long line of strong, independent women. That's probably the best thing to know.
Gotcha. Do you want to share your business?
Well,
Because no, it's okay, but do you want to share that? Yeah.
My husband and I own a timing company.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly him, and
Okay.
people think timing. What is that?
Yeah, I was going to have you elaborate because a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, and my husband is an official for track and field,
Mm-hmm.
and he has traveled all over. He's done all kinds of meets. He's getting ready to go do the Big Ten, which he's excited because then he will have officiated the ACC track and field, SEC track and field, and he's getting ready to do the Big Ten.
I don't know what the Big Ten is.
It's a conference.
Conference.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
College conference, track and field.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has done Olympic trials.
Mm-hmm.
He does a lot of national championships. And so he loves track, cross country. And he worked while I went to school and with our children, you know. He worked full time while I went to school and got my teaching degrees. And then after I got hired and got established into mine, he stopped. Well, he was working timing and officiating the whole time, but he stopped working and said, I want to try to do this full time. And I said, okay, well, we'll do it.
Yeah.
And that was kind of his dream, to have track and cross country be his full time gig.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we have a timing company that we time track and field events. We do road races. We do cross country races. We can time anything that you want.
And so you get to travel with him too occasionally. You still go with him.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. I love that. And I love that you shared that it was a tag team thing for you guys. So he did things while you got your schooling, and now you're doing the things so he can do his things, right? So that's pretty awesome. Because that's partnership, and that's I mean, it's a different level, but Carly and I have found some of those same concepts in our partnership as well.
Yeah.
So, and then even sometimes now in life, right?
Yeah.
So, wow, how did you end up here? How did we meet?
I knew you were going to have me tell this story.
Yeah.
So, it started September of 22.
So we had not moved over here yet, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You had, where the story evolves, you had just moved over.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. We moved in November, so like 2 months.
Well, I rolled over in bed one day, went, ow. I had a lymph node under my right arm that was swollen. Went to the doctor. We did a round of antibiotics. Thankfully, I love my doctor. She saved my life. And we did a round of antibiotics, and she immediately sent me for some biopsies and tests and things. In October of 22, I was diagnosed with stage 3C triple negative breast cancer, which is very aggressive. Triple negative is kind of rare. And I started treatments in November, very aggressive treatments of chemo. And through all of my cancer treatments and journeys at the cancer centers, I kept hearing things about Reiki and would see pamphlets about Reiki and things like that. And so that's how it got on my radar. And I was finally starting to think, because I got through the worst of the treatment, which was the very first. And it was around probably February, March. And then I started thinking, maybe I should find someone and find out some more about this. And so this is where Carla comes in and the shop. I didn't know where to go. It was just on the outside of my mind about Reiki. And I happened to be thinking about it driving home that day from treatment. And I've often thought, Cynthiana is such a cool little town, and so I just will kind of drive up the streets real slow and look and stop if I need to. And I was driving up the street, and the train went through.
So you
And
stopped.
so I stopped right in front of the store, and as I'm thinking of Reiki, there used to be like the open glitter sign, real big right there, used to say Reiki.
We need to add that.
Maybe, yeah.
And so I'm sitting there, I was thinking about it on the way home, and I turned and I looked and saw Reiki on the sign. So I immediately pulled into the parking lot and came in and started talking to Carla.
Okay.
And telling her a little bit about everything that I was going through. And it's where I've had a couple of sessions with her, and I'm up to level 2 attunements.
Okay.
So.
Good.
So how did your, I'm going to call it wellness journey, right? Because we're not giving attention to the illness side. How has your wellness journey changed your views and perspectives on a practice?
I had mentioned my grandmother and my mother. I was raised in a spiritual home, not a religious home. My grandparents and my mother, and I was raised in a church. But my mother always said she was a white witch, and she believed in Wiccan. I have a lot of Cherokee and Native American in my ancestry, and my brother kind of is more where he believes more Native American. So it was never any one specific religion practiced. It was a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
You were
Whatever we
exposed
wanted.
to all the options, yeah.
And you could
not sheltered away from any of them.
take what you want,
Yes.
leave the rest.
We love that so much.
Yeah. So that's what I was raised with. And so when I was diagnosed, and this is kind of weird, and I tell people all the time, a lot of what you're going through it's your mind over matter. There was never a time that I entertained that I would not be okay.
Yeah. It just wasn't an option.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I also had a peace. Of course, in the very beginning, you kind of lose it and you freak out when somebody says cancer, because in that instant, your life changes.
Right.
There's nothing else that changes. And so getting everything together at school, because I knew I would have to be off, because I do teach special education.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew I would not be able to do my job. My doctor and I had talked about it. I knew I would have to be off, and trying to get everything together for that. And then during that time, before I started treatment, in those several weeks there between diagnosis and starting treatment and going through the tests and things, I just had a peacefulness
Mm-hmm.
settle over me. And that's where it came into, like, it was never an option. I didn't think that I wouldn't be okay. And through that to now, on the other side of it, and everything that I've went through, and it was a journey inside me
Mm-hmm.
of, okay, what do I want to happen? What do I want to start practicing?
Mm-hmm. What do you want to honor?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do I want to be the important parts?
Mm-hmm. Oh, because what matters changed.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
what
changes
matters changes,
drastically. And so the biggest thing for me, and I hate to say this because I love my job,
Mm-hmm.
but my family
Mm-hmm.
are the ones that were there
Mm-hmm.
with me. My coworkers checked on me, and the people that I worked with checked on me and were there for me. But the job itself,
Right.
I would have been replaced tomorrow had I said. So that shifted where I was not giving my job everything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It came back to more my family and made some changes. I still give my job
Mm-hmm.
a lot of me.
Yeah.
Because that's just who I am.
Right. And the nature of your job. Like
Yeah,
it is those tiny, well, they're not really tiny, but it is that collective of humans that just needs more. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just want to help people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the Reiki and practices and a lot of that changed for me,
Mm-hmm.
and things that I wanted to be more.
The awareness, so what I'm hearing is the awareness of a deeper appreciation of maybe your capabilities and what you need to put forth, what you want to put forth, what you want to feed and grow and explore and expand on. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And Reiki is one of those because I can offer that as a helping tool
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
for women
Absolutely.
and people with cancer.
Mm-hmm.
But I can help others also.
Yeah.
But that was my main why I want to do Reiki.
So, what do you think? Why were you hesitant about digging into what Reiki was when you first started seeing it? It's tricky because there's not a good explanation, but I want to know, why you maybe didn't jump into that option because it was available, because they had pamphlets, right? And they had practitioners in the clinics. But what was it that made it feel outside of reach?
I didn't know anything about it, first and foremost. Didn't know anything about it. And I've always, and you and I talked about this some, and I think I might have talked to you about it a little bit, Carly, but I've always been told by my grandmother and my mother that I was very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And that scared me. It has always scared me. And so I have suppressed a lot of stuff. And we've talked about this. Like, I have never wanted to know
All the
and
things.
hear and be the intuitive or the empath or
Yeah.
All the things.
all the things have always scared me. But with this and going slow and learning, like I have learned more of that I can control things.
Mm-hmm.
I can be in control.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I was always scared that it would control me.
And there are situations where that happens,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I think that just has to do with some knowledge and wisdom of the practitioners sharing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
And listening and setting boundaries
Mm-hmm.
and learning about the journey.
Mm-hmm.
So how will you share that process, that journey, differently than it was shared with you in the early stages, so people are more aware? Because education is a big part. Education, funny that you're an educator, right?
Yeah.
But education is part of the gap, right? We've talked about that quite a bit throughout the years. Education is part of the gap. So what are some things that if you knew, because they're listening, right, here's your chance to explain it in a way that would have helped you understand more about it early on?
Probably the biggest thing that I have learned is that I can control.
Mm-hmm.
I can be in control. And if it starts scaring me, I can go on.
Yeah, you can
I can shut it down.
Mm-hmm. You can wrap it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's a lot. So you're using the word control, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I do appreciate because I respect that verbiage and the way you're using it right now. But even at the gate, setting intentions and setting a space and having awareness of what you're seeking changes things as well. And knowing that there's protected, no, I don't really like the word procedures. Like
Protocol.
the way we open, right? The way we open, the way we close, that those offer a level of protection for you and for the client, and not just in the session. So there's not, when people practice the way I recommend, that there's no residual aftermath
Right.
after a session.
And that's
right.
That's the big thing.
Yeah.
And setting the boundaries
So
is huge for me.
Yeah.
And knowing that I can do that, I can open myself up and let someone else share the space with me. And I can help. I've always had a lot of big energy and never been sure what to do with it or how to handle it. And and feeling the energy around me has always been huge too. And I think, I don't know if you remember it, but I was telling you about it the other day. Like we were in here and we were doing a class, and there was a girl in the room with us, and if you remember, she kept waving her hand back and forth. And I was in the corner.
Because we were practicing the Boise scan.
Yeah.
And you were
and I just kept getting hit. And I finally, I said, I said, hold on, you have to stop doing that. Let me move, please.
Yeah.
Because her hand and the energy was right at me, and I was like, I can't, whoa.
Please stop.
Let me get on this course. And that's, but feeling that, you may need to experience that because now you understand the importance of how I demonstrate the Boise scan, right?
Yeah.
Like, we just don't go in hard and fast with that. Yeah. Because you can create some odd sensations, right?
Yeah. And it was, I was in that, I was just like standing back and observing, and that was it. But the way her hand was going, it was going right in that corner, and I was standing there like,
So you're not sitting in that corner this time, are you?
No.
You would probably be aware to recommend
She'll
that
be at the
no one
doorway
else
so she
do
can
that.
run.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So I want to take it back just a tad, and if you feel comfortable sharing your first experiences of Reiki,
But
how did that
outside
start?
of the practice.
Yeah. So like you as the client, like when you came in seeking like I need more information on this, and you had your first couple sessions, how did those sessions sit with you, and what did you take from them?
I took a lot of peaceful,
Okay.
lightness,
Mm-hmm.
and it helped me a lot more to be able to learn how to pay attention, which I've always like listened to my body,
Yeah.
if you want to say that. But it helped me learn a little more of how to be still and listen
Okay.
and be able to be in the space.
Okay.
One of our friends uses the phrase self-inventory. And so as you're talking, that's kind of like I could see you taking notes. And maybe that's the educator side of you. Like I could see you taking notes with awareness of what was happening.
Yeah.
So
And one of, I think maybe it was the first attunement we did.
and this is why we like people to share because I don't remember those things. And at that point I wasn't documenting, that session.
But I was in the chair, sitting there, and we were getting ready to start. But you said, "Hold on, I need to stop, and I need to tell you, Choku Ray, say hey ki." She's and you flat out told, you said, "I have no idea why I needed to tell you that."
Those first two symbols, yeah.
But that was told to me that I need to tell you that.
Yeah. Did you need to take a note? Is that what it was?
Well, it gave me, like when I go into a meditation, it's kind of a connect now. As weird as this might sound, but it's kind of a connect for me and my guides.
Okay.
And myself, my energy. So, like, I will set and I will chant that a couple of times in my head, and then I'll go into whatever I'm doing. Like, if I'm working with energy, if I'm just meditating and listening to myself, taking self inventory of, okay, what's going on right now? What do I need to do? What do I need to set my boundaries as? So that really helped in that very beginning.
It gave you a good starting point. Okay.
Yeah.
Goodness, thank you for saying that. Yeah.
And that was, you had no idea why.
Like, I just work here.
But I did.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, it has turned into
Your practice.
Yeah.
And some people like, and so maybe you just need an on switch.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And
And
that's
as
what it is.
As I'm sharing now as well, I'm learning to share that as we're being trained, we're training our guides. Like that's something I mentioned to you. Yeah. And that's important, right? So you bringing your guides into the conversation and mentioning like that's the awareness for you both to understand we are about to work, whether it's self-work or whether you're charging or, Reiki on a plant or your food or an animal or a space or, whatever. It changes things. So I was just guided to ask you, and I know you may have to be careful with some conversation because it's going to involve your students. How has having a little bit more wisdom and knowledge about some energy and the concepts of that, how has that changed work? Because people forget about the little things, they forget about the little things.
They do.
What grade do you teach?
teach middle school.
So it's a collective special.
Yeah. Okay.
And I love middle schoal. People will hear that and be like, oh, no, that's
those years. Yeah.
But I do love middle school because you have them come in and there's still these little people and they're not babies, but they're still
innocent. And,
yes.
You know.
And then you see they mature and they grow and the hormones from 6th grade to 8th grade, and to watch that transformation to me, I love it. It's huge to me.
It's such a profound time in your life.
Yeah. The person that comes in is no longer the person that leaves you.
Yeah, for sure.
Literally. Where you don't see as much as that with elementary. And even with high school, you don't see as much, because I've done high school too.
You don't see as much growth.
Yeah. As much as you do, and you see that transformation.
So how do you use the energy with work?
It has changed the atmosphere in my classrooms. I don't get upset. I don't get excited. I try to figure out the energy and what I can do best to help my students. And that's probably the biggest thing that...
And with energy being so powerful, you having that calmness and neutrality sets the tone for their energy. Sets the tone for how they react, I'm sure.
I think so.
Yeah.
Which I've always worked with and done, and my husband and I have coached all kinds of sports. We've done baseball, we've done soccer, we've done track, we've done cross country, we've done...
So you've always been around all the kid energy.
Yes.
And all the variations of that.
Yeah. And so it has helped me realize, okay, what the energy is.
What this feels like.
Yeah. And to be able to set more boundaries, because some of those, I can tell you some stories of kids that have just absolutely broken my heart and still do to this day.
Yeah.
And learning how to set those boundaries for myself has been huge.
Own that. You can be aware of it. You don't own
I can be aware of, okay, this is still me. That's you.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's going to be important that you practice that. So being able to read energy, but then also being able to transmute energy and transform energy, because it doesn't go away. We can affect the vibrations, right? So if something is low, we can recognize it's low, but we can meet that with a higher vibration. And some people may need to hear that as a state of mind, or, joy or bliss or love or whatever. But we can transmute it and change it, right? We can negate some of that. We still might not be able to bring it all the way up, but we can meet, somewhere in the middle, right? With awareness. Yeah. So that's crazy. Yeah. And I can imagine all of those bodies in one room. So, as we're talking about the Reiki class, initially I was going to max it out like 8 people.
Yeah.
But now realizing that there's not time and space for another one in the second quarter, I'm like, and so as I'm thinking about all these bodies in here, you guys are going to see me in here putting up wards and boundaries and all the things days before I'm going to start planting those seeds of, high vibration and protection and all the things, making enough space so we can.
And that's not just not just important for you. It's important for us. Still learning how to do that too, because we're all different, and that's what I love. Absolutely love about people is everybody's different. We don't have to believe the same things. We don't have to like the same things. We just have to respect each other. And that's it.
And I hope you have learned that there's no tolerance for less than that either.
No, I have.
Okay.
Very much so. And that's probably one of the biggest lessons that you have taught me is, no, I don't have to participate in that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't have to participate in your disrespect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's all you.
Those
That's
are
yours.
some hard.
This is me.
Yeah.
We're
Mhm.
not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not today. Not here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so one of 2025, I started saying a lot like, that's none of my business,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then if someone kept on, I'd be like, it's probably none of your business either. And they would either, and I would walk away. And sometimes they would stand there in shock and awe that I wasn't jumping into their conversation.
Yeah.
Or sometimes, sometimes they just don't come back.
Yeah.
But I'm not using.
Then they're not ready for it, and
Yeah.
they'll be back when they are.
Yeah, and sometimes it takes a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some things that you remembered from class that you want to make sure that the next cohort, I guess for the lack of a better word, that you want to make sure I share with the next cohort? Because a lot of time has passed, right? And as I grow and change teaching, yeah. So do you have something? Like, what was a big...
Yeah, I'm gonna think about that for a second.
It's okay, you'll be in class too. You'll be like, don't forget this.
I know. Yeah. Well, you know me. I'll be like, Carla,
Mm-hmm.
what about this one?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't how you taught me. No, Carly, because we've changed.
Yes, we're involved. Yeah.
No, Carly.
Man, I'm excited.
I
forgot
could
how
do the
much-
same thing.
Yeah.
I forgot how I missed, how I missed teaching.
Yeah. Man. So,
I love teaching.
Mm-hmm.
teaching is so much fun.
If y'all have anything you want me to teach, just
Okay.
We'll have to sit on that.
Yeah. Man. So, for those that are just learning about Reiki or have been getting sessions and want to learn Reiki for themselves, what would you recommend to the collective? What do you want them to know?
make sure you're ready. Do the self-inventory. And make sure you are ready to continuously do the self-inventories to know exactly what you need to take and what you need to let go of.
Yeah. That's very, very important.
Because, like
That's
I said,
important.
there's a lot of bodies here. We're not all alike. We're going to share things. Some of it might not be for me at all. And I've learned that that's okay. I can hear it, but I don't have to keep it.
Just like with all the advice on raising kids, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And even beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All the things, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take what you want and leave the rest.
Yeah.
Any last? I mean, that sounds like pretty fucking awesome last words. Because it's hard to say any last words, but
But I'm like, that's really.
yeah.
Unless you want to add to that or share something that we didn't ask you.
Is there anything you want people to know that any questions we didn't ask that you wish people, individuals, would ask?
I don't know about questions,
Okay.
but one of the things is just don't be afraid
Mm-hmm.
to ask the question.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was one of the things that I was always like real hesitant and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe that's stupid. Well, there aren't.
No.
No, it's not.
And I'm
Somebody
paying forward.
somewhere
If I don't
needs.
know, I'll be like, I don't know. The fuck
Yeah.
if I know, right?
And
Somebody does,
Hold
and
on.
you'll go around and ask.
Let me phone a friend, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not afraid to say, I don't know that either.
Yeah.
Or this is my viewpoint. Or wording is important on that too, because I don't want anybody to feel like I'm pushing anything, especially with herbals and stuff. So I'll be like, hey, research this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I have learned the universe is very small.
Mm.
The universe is very small in a very large space. You're always going to run into someone that either knows something or says something or knows somebody.
Mhm.
It's out there.
Yeah. Okay. You just got to be open to it, receive it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's awesome.
Thank you
All
for
right.
sharing all your stuff and sharing your story. We don't get many people that are as passionate about Reiki and like get that knowledge out from the other side that's not one of us. You know what I mean? So I think that's pretty profound and needed for the community for sure.
And there's no set. Like I said, I've been like afraid of things for most of my life because I've always felt things and had the things and all the things. Like Carla and I have talked about this. Like I don't know if I can handle this, but learning how to do it on your own time is very important.
Yeah. Your own terms,
your own terms, your own timeline. Because it doesn't matter what Carla's ready for, it doesn't matter what Carly's ready for, doesn't necessarily mean that's what Kenny's ready for.
All I can do is keep asking, like, hey, does anybody need anything? You know, so, yeah. All right.
Take
well,
what you need and leave the rest.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So we're going to sign off and wrap it up and pack up. And man,
that's it for today.
Yeah. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you.
Right, guys. So that wraps up another episode of Without a Candle with Carly and Carla. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.